Welcome back, Love Stylers. I'm Misty. Today we're going to be talking about 10 magical benefits of going on a carnivore diet for 2023. So these are magical because you have to have a little bit of faith and you have to believe that you can do this. Some people think a carnivore diet is very, very strict. I'm going to tell you, if you have a certain type of personality, like I do, it's easier for me to eat just meat, dairy, and eggs in my life and leave out the overthinking of trying to diet with all the different ratios and calories and vegetables. If you go right to the source where the nutrition begins, you're gonna love this way of living. We talk a lot on this channel about how I lost 55 pounds between the keto and carnivore diets in the last 5 years. I also lost 8 sizes. I got rid of most of my eczema. I got off of high blood pressure medication, which is my very favorite thing, besides giving up alcohol. And I've not touched a drop of alcohol since I began this type of lifestyle. I love my life now. I thought I loved it before, but you don't know what you don't know. And I have found that in the recent years, since going low carb a few years back, that I am loving my life more and more every single day. And I think you should consider trying a carnivore diet in 2023. Now, I do a 90% carnivore diet, which means I occasionally cheat on my diet. 10% of the time, I need to have some fruits. I need to have the occasional sweet potato. I need to have the occasional treat when I'm on vacation, just once in a while. And I feel like, for me, this gives me a very healthy balance in my life, and I will stay on track better this way if I allow something now and then. You just go right back on to a carnivore diet your very next meal. The reason I'm calling these things magical today is because it feels like magic. And I know you believe in magic, or you would never watch the movies you watch and the hero's journey and all of that stuff. We all believe in it. Is it not magical that we even exist on this earth? Number 1, sustainability. This is the most sustainable diet I have ever been on. It is just so easy. You don't have to worry about yo-yoing back and forth, gaining weight, losing weight, trying to dial in numbers, weighing things, overthinking, and putting so much emphasis on food all day long, and restriction, and these kind of things can really affect whether you sustain the weight loss you may have already achieved. They say the best diet is the one that you'll do. And I love this because for me, it has to be meat, dairy, and eggs most of the time. That is what I enjoy the most. I was never crazy about a ton of vegetables. I think eating a large salad makes me feel somewhat like a rabbit. You know, you see those people who lose a lot of weight very, very quickly, and that's great. But you look at them a few months later, a year later, 2 years later, down the line, and they've gained the weight or most of the weight back. And sometimes they even put on more weight because it's not sustainable to restrict yourself so much. The yo-yo dieting does not seem to happen as much for people who stay on the carnivore diet. Those of us who find it very, very doable, sustainable, and simple. The second most magical thing while on a carnivore diet is you keep your muscle. So a lot of people lose muscle when they calorie restrict, when they don't give their body proper nutrition, as in protein and meat first. And this is huge. Look around. You've seen people be skinny fat, which basically means they're flabby as crap. And you will keep the muscle you've built up when you eat nutrient dense and you're on a carnivore diet. So this is very exciting for people like me who are older women, especially us guys. We want to get rid of the cellulite. We want to keep the muscle that replaces that cellulite. And you will lose fat. But keeping your muscle is very, very exciting because especially women, I must say, it's hard for us to even build up muscle in the first place. So looking more toned, This is definitely the sign that somebody is feeding their body with better nutrition. We're talking about lean body mass, the kind your body needs for longevity and a long, healthy life. So the body composition changes. People will start to compliment you, and you'll start to have a regular body shape again, or for the first time. And your body composition gets better. You start to lose weight in the spots where it's more noticeable, and you keep that muscle. But be a little bit careful of weighing yourself too much when this is happening, especially at first. Also, you will fit into smaller clothes. Even though the scale may not be moving quite as fast, you will lose inches. And we love the thought of that. The third magical reason to go on carnivore is reverse aging is kicked into high gear. The first way that you can tell that someone's eating so nutrient dense is their skin. And I look a little bit younger now than I did about 10 years ago. And I'm gonna try to put up a picture here so you can see the difference. Your skin will become more tight, more taut. As you go along each day, you look better, and you can even look younger. Better skin, hair, nails, and teeth are a sign of good health. You know, we buy these collagen products and these powders in skincare, and it's just not the real deal. And we spend hundreds of dollars trying to look younger when all we have to do is eat better. It's so simple. So many people are coming off of their medication, and it may take a little while for that to happen, or you may even have to stay on your medication for a lifetime. But this is the only cure that I know of where people are actually getting off of their medication for diabetes and very serious health problems. If you have a health problem, I want you to do some research on the carnivore diet and see how many people are curing their own health on their own terms without medication. I also want to add to the reverse aging that includes your sexual libido, both for women and men. When you eat more nutrient dense, you start to really age in reverse. And that means getting back those feelings again you may have lost over the years from having health problems or feeling a little bit like you're not your best version. And this can really help with confidence. And that leads me to number 4. My fourth magical benefit on a carnivore diet is gaining confidence. So you lose weight and you lose fat, but you gain the good stuff like confidence. The most attractive thing about a person is their confidence. No matter what you look like, if you have confidence, you cut the line. If you have charisma, if you are sure about yourself. Like, let me give you some examples. You might have in the past been too afraid to speak up to somebody when they've crossed your boundaries. Or even in the workplace, if they're asking for your opinion, you may be a little bit shy or embarrassed because you don't feel so confident sometimes. Everyone's gonna look at you. What if you feel like you look fat that day? But you might not even be used to having the confidence to even speak up about certain things to certain people. When you eat nutrient dense and you eat meat, dairy, and eggs on a carnivore diet, for some reason, this is one of the magical things I'm talking about. Your confidence level goes up. You start to not get nervous, maybe when you did in the past, when you're eating junk food and so forth. You're very, very balanced a lot of the time in your mood. You just have like a pep in your step. You feel like a rock star when you are feeding your body what it needs. It's almost like an elated and very joyful feeling inside. And you can even inspire other people with your newfound attitude when you're so confident and comfortable in your body because you know you're doing the right thing finally. And that exudes out into the universe, and the vibrations move on to the planets or whatever they do. But people can feel it, but they can also see it in you. Your mental focus is really on point, and even your memory gets clearer. Kicking your ketosis into high gear. You can feel taller, you can feel slimmer, and you just exude a very nice vibe. The fifth magical reason to be on a carnivore diet this year is a weird one. So I must warn you, but hang in with me here. Helps you resist cravings and stand up to bullies. And by bullies, I don't mean people, even though you'll do that too without even trying or getting pissed off. Think about this for a minute. It's really out there, guys, but I am. Food can be a bully because all this time, food has been controlling us. Fast food, cocktails, desserts, not being able to resist junk food, sugar, carbs that are bad for us, gluten, bread. Are these not the bullies in our life, first and foremost, when we cannot say no to a bag of Lay's potato chips? That would mean that the food is bullying us into eating it, even though it's bad for us. Not to mention going out to eat all the time, pizza. We can stand up to the bullies or the bad food products and stand in our power and resist these cravings that we used to have. The longer you're on the carnivore diet, each day that you eat well, you are closer to not needing the junk food any longer. Your cravings eventually subside. And this is really cool when you find out you think you need sugar, you think you need sweet taste in your mouth all the time, and you find out you really don't. It takes a little while. And if a little bit of fruit's gonna help you through, that's fine. Eat a piece of fruit. But you eventually learn that it's just kind of a mental game. It's just that the bullying type of foods have been on their throne for too long. And we've given food too much power over our health. And I know it's a weird one, guys, but it's really the truth. And I know if you're anything like me, you still have those potato chips calling your name, have those full sugar treats calling your name, like cake and stuff like that. Stuff we were taught to put on a pedestal when we were children, for those times when we're celebrating and those holidays and all those things that are still going to be there. When you have the strength to resist the bullying foods, it's very, very liberating. My sixth magical benefit is you will have a master's degree, if you stick with this, in nutrition. I know how to eat now. I've been on carnivore 90% for 3 years. Before that, I was on keto, and both are great. But now I actually know from the bottom of my soul how to eat properly for my body. I know it. I can't unknow it. So think of it this way. A low-carb lifestyle is like having your associate's degree. Being on a keto diet is like having a bachelor's degree. But when you go on a carnivore diet and learn all of these things you're going to learn, you will have your master's degree in nutrition. And if I could think of 2 things people want more in the world, one would be to get rich, and 2 would be to know how to feed their body so they can be a healthy human being. Those 2 things. Nothing tastes as good as being healthy feels. The basic foundations being protein, collagen, some healthy fats, maybe a little bit of dairy if you like it, if it responds well to your body, and providing your body with nutrients first, vital nutrients first. Also, including pink salt and electrolytes, getting a lot of sleep, or at least enough sleep, at least 6 hours. I prefer 7. And including some regular, moderate exercise if you can. My 7th magical reason for going on a carnivore diet is it creates energy. Actually creates it. So when your body gets the fuel, the cleanest fuel that it can, It works optimally. And I have energy that does not fade. I am not exaggerating. I have a very, very even amount of energy in a day, a very balanced feeling inside. You know, I used to go through bouts of anger and rushes of annoyance and getting irritable, let's say like in the workplace with people or just in your life. And I know people are going to aggravate us sometimes, but when you have a balanced amount of energy and a balanced amount of calmness at the same time, which is sounds like it goes against each other, but good energy is what I really should say. You don't get annoyed at those little things anymore. I feel like that's caused by the junk food. As a matter of fact, for me, I know it was. And not clearing out the toxins from all the years of eating the junk food. When you have more energy to exercise, even though you don't have to exercise very much at all, which I'll get to in a minute, when you're on a carnivore diet, you still have it. You have stamina for things. Your mental focus will be on point. Your memory is better. You are more even-tempered and your nerves are not on edge any longer. And I hope you find this to be true. You know, I ask people a lot of times, how are you? I'm a very friendly person. And I get the same response like 95% of the time. I'm tired. So this is what I'm talking about. If you're sick and tired of feeling sick or tired, especially, and you have fatigue, especially after a crappy meal, or if you eat something with a lot of crappy ingredients and toxins in there, you're gonna love this. That energy comes back. It's very, very exciting and doable. And you're gonna love this part, I promise. No more fatigue. You know, we sometimes think it's just because we're getting older that we get tired easily. No, you're not supposed to get tired that easily from getting up and sitting back down. You shouldn't be tired from that. You should have an even amount of energy during the day, and you may even experience a natural high, like an oxygenated, very joyful feeling inside, very elated feeling inside. And this is something I've noticed, and one of the things I love. Keeping your energy up is great for exercising, but also just for daily tasks. Doing a great job, being there for your children, being there for your husband or spouse or your partner. And I find most people just want to do it all. And eating meat, dairy, and eggs helps you do it all. My 8th magical reason today is you won't have to exercise like a beast. Exercise is more of a second thought. I know that's going to sound crazy to everybody out there dieting, but I've lived it. I've lived it. I've tried the diets, the restriction, the salads, and the being in the gym for an hour. It's not necessary when you eat on a carnivore diet. Please do some more research because I can tell right now that you don't believe me. And remember, you're keeping that muscle that you built up already, like we said in the beginning. So even a small amount of exercise is going to help you, and you're going to be able to sustain that muscle and lose the fat. My 9th magical reason for going on a carnivore diet in 2023 and beyond is fasting becomes natural. Let me say it again. Fasting becomes natural. Like right now, I think it's about 2 o'clock and it's the weekend. And I have not eaten today, and it comes very naturally to me. Now, I do consume coffee in the morning with a little bit of heavy cream. And most people on carnivore do allow coffee with heavy cream or butter in their coffee. And that's kind of like not fasting, but let me get back to fasting becomes natural. Self-explanatory, because we have 3 types of fasting: intermittent fasting, OMADs, which is 1 meal a day, and extended fasting. All 3 of those, whichever you choose to do, most of us choose a window to eat in, which is basically intermittent fasting, but a lot of people will eat in an 8-hour window, which is most of your day anyway. And it becomes so much easier when you eat nutrient dense and you include that butter in there. It keeps you full for a long time. There's usually fatty meats you're including, which is very helpful. Obviously, fasting is the fastest, no pun intended, way to lose weight besides eating nutrient dense. A lot of people refer to the carnivore diet as a fasting mimicking diet. And I'm probably going to do a video about that soon because I love that idea. It's very self-explanatory. It's a fasting mimicking diet. And before I get to the 10th magical reason for trying a carnivore diet this year, I want to thank you if you're a new subscriber. And I've gotten a few new subscribers and I love you guys. I'm very, very grateful. I want you to join the family, the Lovestyle family, and to feel at home here, to ask me any questions in the comments. I love getting questions and comments, and I will respond. Also, thank you for listening to Black Eyed Soul. That's our band. Andrew and I, my husband, record right here in this room, and you can find us at blackeyedsoul.com or anywhere you find streaming music, we are there. Tell us if you enjoy it. Also, thank you for liking and sharing this with a friend who may benefit from it. And stick around for my truth bomb in about 1 minute. My 10th magical reason, and probably my favorite of all, is you become the best version of yourself. And that's what happened with me. A few years ago, I was drinking. I was eating on the standard American diet. I had gained a bunch of weight in my late 30s, early 40s. And I was sick of it. And becoming your best version is not only weight loss, it's cleaning up your organs. It's cleaning up the toxins out of your body by eating so nutrient dense and giving it what it needs. And therefore, becoming your best version. And when you fix your gut microbiome, which I didn't even talk about in this episode, so check out some of my other videos, you start to understand that this is not difficult, that it's easy. You get a new lease on life and you start to really feel fulfilled and start to do the things you always wanted to do. Since I started on a carnivore diet, I am achieving goals that I had put aside for so many years, thinking I didn't have what it took to achieve these goals. And I'm not perfect, but I'm getting closer to the goals and it's very exciting. And you may be the leader in your peer group or your family or your friend group. And showing by example is really the only way to inspire others to try it as well and clean up their health. And my truth bomb today is I have much more balance in my life now. I'm a much happier person in my life. And I'm starting to pursue and achieve the goals that I set forth years ago. They've come back into my life and I owe it all to the carnivore diet because it's given me such balance and clarity that I can't even express it enough without sounding like I'm pushing it on you. If you need any tips, please hit me up in the comments or watch some of my other videos because I am loving this lifestyle and you can too. Thanks for tuning into Lovestyle today. Peace out.